pretty sure you guys saw what I posted, or whoever saw the live stream, doesn't matter. Um, so yeah, I'm back. It was kind of like taking this small break. I have my many reasons, but through some, how would I say this, enlightenment in a way, I think I have a way to how would you put this? Put out new what ifs without any problem, without any issue. So let's dive right back into it. This will be what if now. Sorry. So kind of used to doing now it's a what ifs a little bit kind of it's in my head whatever. So this is gonna be crap. This is gonna be the continuation to what if Deku was a hollow. This is gonna be part four. So yeah, let's get into it. Man, I wish I had the intro, but whatever. Let's get into it. So last time I left off, or last time we left off. Deku, this was during, how would I, this was, last time we left off was the USJ arc. Like I said before, only people that were truly injured. I don't remember if I said Mr. Azar was injured, or Eraserhead, whatever. I don't remember if I said he was injured. I'm sorry. I have to go back and rewatch, but I'm pretty sure I have a good idea as to how I wanted to continue this, but I wasn't sure. Anyway, like I said, for a small recap, we left off at the USJ, and Deku, or I don't know what I should call it his hero name because I want to change it to Deku, but Zuko, erased kind of basically just turned the top half of the Nomu's body to cinders, thus killing him. So yeah, he turned into a Vasalore and just erased the top half of the Nomu. So we're going to do the sports festival, the Stain arc. That's pretty much about it. I would go on to uh the camp, but I'll save that for later. I wanna I'll save that for the next part that's coming after the new what if that I'm gonna make after this. So yeah. Anyway, so for the sports festival. So since we're gonna keep the timeline the same a little bit, so it's like 2 weeks later, I believe. Mr. Arizawa said to Class 1A, as Aizawa says, so Aizawa says, so we're going to have we're going to do have a sports festival 2 weeks from now. So hope you guys get ready and start training. And like before, Kirishima asks, isn't this a bit too sudden for us to have the sports festival? 2 weeks, have the sports festival. Aizawa remarkably responds with the same thing he said in canon, saying that he's trying to show they're trying UA is trying to show that they are now weak, and this way it makes villains kind of back off to show that they really don't care, or in a way they're pretty much prepared for some if anybody wants to try something, they're pretty much prepared. So yeah, so going back into it. So for the training for Deku or Izuku, sorry, for the training for Izuku, won't be as won't be as calibrated as much. Let's just say that since he got Vastelleti form, I mean he's half hollow, so that's why I kind of debuffed him and only gave him the mask. But to change some physical features, a little bit, I'm gonna put. Well, hold on, wrong picture. There'll be a hole in his upper torso, like exactly the hole in Ichigo's Vastolore form, or like I said, same Vastolore form, just different hair color. Um, so there'll be a hole in the same spot. And the thing I'll be changing is that after I'll be adding in, I I, I don't know why I just never included somebody. This idea comes from Crown Fiend. So all credits to him. I got his idea from him. So yeah. So I'll be putting I forgot her name. Gosh darn it. But Zuko will be going to Wakamundo so he can get the full extent of his hollow powers. So that's his training for the 2 weeks, just like honing his body. So yeah. All right. So we'll leave off at the end of the day of UA, at the end of school. Izuku's walking home or using flash step as he senses somebody with high pressure Ryatsu. And this person is Naliel. Now I remember her name. Yeah, Naliel. So he senses her, and for some reason he has this weird familiar sense. Because uh, in a way, Ichigo and Izuku are connected, not as much, but like he senses her. So like in a way, crossing dimensions is not that hard. Um, it's really not that hard, especially since you're crossing Wako Mundo and Earth or Kurakata Town. Yeah, sorry for all of that. Um, yeah, as I said before, yeesh, so many notifications. Um, as I said before, uh, how many times am I gonna say? Naniel approaches him and asks, well, I would actually Naniel just approaches him, is kind of confused as to how he's using any type of Ryatsu since he's not at his full maximum capability. As I said before, I'll be buffing every single person in UA to the point where drawbacks are like something of the past. So the strain on Bakugo is pretty low, like super low. The strain on Todoroki is low. The strain on everybody is low. So even Uraraka, she won't vomit as much. She will probably like vomit if she holds like maybe like give or take 20 tons. That's when she vomits, or if she uses it consistently for like a very long time, and I mean a very long time. So yeah, back to back to the point. Back to the what if whatever. So we'll go back. Yeah. So Nelia asks him, "Have you? Do you know what you are exactly?" And Zuko is asking, "What do you mean?" And he looks up at her. Correct. He looks at her, examines her a little bit. Still confident, like I said, examines her a little bit and realizes that she has a mask on top of her head and thinks to himself, is she a hollow just like me? And he says, yeah, I know what I am. Are you the same thing as me or just what? And she says, yeah, in a way. And she asks who his father is, or what does he know? And he says that I have this form called Vasta Lore and a mask, but I thought it was just unique to me or something. So he just dismissed it as a quirk. And she idealistically she thought so because yeah, everybody seems to have some type of weird ability as she was passing by. So she just ignored it. And so she says to him, I'm gonna train you. And he's asking as to why. And she says, replies just by saying, well, you're similar to me, but you're not entirely human. And he asks, how could you possibly know what I am exactly? And she says, well, whoever your father is or whatever, your mother, they're not human. And he's wondering, like, what? And she just tries to, to be honest, I forgot exactly what a hollow is. I mean, it's obviously a corrupt spirit, but like, come on now, that full of a transformation. I don't think a corrupt spirit would look a lot like that. I think it's just gonna be a bit malicious or something. I don't, but whatever. That's the Bleach universe. So I'm not really gonna get into it as much. So yeah. So as we pass on to the, as she says, well, you don't seem to have much of your power. And he asks, but this is my. How could you know I don't have my full power? Well, you don't. For starters, you don't have a hole, and my second reason is where's your mask if you're half hollow or something? And he's like, oh, I have to summon it. And she realizes, is he like Ichigo or is he actually half human, half human, half hollow? Then she asks, um, well, she says, well, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna train you, and well, that's pretty much it. So then Izuku says, well, I'm gonna have to tell my mom first. I'm gonna tell her that I'm gonna train for the next 2 weeks, so I'll be gone in the forest. And she says, okay, whatever. So Izuku goes home. He packs up and tells his mom that he wants to go train, so he's gonna go to the forest, which is obviously a lie, you know. And she idly obliges and says, "Well, don't overwork yourself, Izuku. Obviously, um, uh, obviously, Inko, being the loving care mother she is, she lets him go, and yeah. So he, both Nalio and him, go to Waco Mundo and start training. Once he gets into Waco Mundo, um, he feels a familiar force just pulse through him, as if he's been here several times before. And the minute he gets the air, feels the surrounding environment, a hole immediately appears within his chest, his upper chest, and he's wondering, why is there a draft in my skin? He kind of like opens up his shirt to see, or his sweater, lifts up his shirt or sweater, whatever, to see a hole in his chest, and he's wondering, what the hell? When did I have a hole? Think Probably thinking he's dead. He's not, obviously. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm just saying that he probably thinks that he's dead. So Nalio briefs him and says, "Oh, it's okay. I have one. I have a hole as well. Don't you see?" She shows him her hole. I don't remember where it was exactly. So sorry if I don't say or whatever. Shows him her hole, and keeping it PG-13. I'm talking about the same hole all those have. Um, shows him it, and he realizes, oh, okay. Sticks his hand through it. Is like, that's freaky. It's weird. But he takes his hand back out. As I would say, the top part of his mask or the lower part of his mask would show. So like, yeah, I'd, I'd say the full mask shows up, but he moves it to the side of his head, left side, right side, however you want to see it. And so this time it's not breakable like in the originally as I planned it to be, but whatever. Um, Even if it breaks, we can still just manifest it regardless, or if it's like cut off or something, it doesn't matter. With enough training, you can just get it back or something. It doesn't matter. Anyway, her realizing that he doesn't really need much of a sword, but she realizes that his sword is part of his quirk technically. So she says, and but she realizes that that's not gonna work. So she says to him, "Unlock your sword." Deku obviously confused as to what are you talking about, and she says, "Take your sword out. You said you have well, obviously you have a mask form, but due to being here, you only have a Vastolori form now." And honestly, to be honest, yeah, Grimjaw only has one form. Yeah, mainly they have one form. That's like Ukiyo. People that really don't have much of a form that have several forms is like Ukiyo-e, and that's it. Pretty much. Uh, the closest form I would give him for like 50% transformation or 25% of his full power transformation. Closest thing I would give him is probably like maybe like something close to his Vastadore form. So like maybe him with a full body mat with a mask covers his face or something, and like maybe like I feel like that's too much. Just I feel like that's if he already has a form, doesn't matter. So just keeping it similar. So yeah. So he says, "I'm confused. What are you talking about? I don't have a sword." And she says, "Well, how can you use your Vasto Lore form at all if you don't have your sword?" And he says, "I've only been going by instinct." And she realizes he's a pretty natural born hollow, as if like he's been born into it, like quite literally born into being a hollow. Then she asks, then she asks specifically, "What does your Vasto Lore form look like?" Then he tries to transform, and he does so, but like that's like 10% of his true power, and like 10% of his true power is basically his Vastolore form right now. So he says, no, not 10%. That's like minimum at least 10%. Yeah, All Might wouldn't even last against 2%. So maybe like 1% of his power. All Might would not last against 2% of that form. So he has at least 2% of his true power, and she realizes that he's kind of weak, but at the same time pretty strong. So he's wondering, how do I unlock my sword? And so he does so. But then again, I don't want to give him a sword. Only reason why I did give him a sword is because it's kind of part of his quirk. Pity. So, oh, 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 mm. Sorry. Uh, anyway, so I won't give him a sword to be honest with you. Hmm. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, sorry for being quiet right there. Just had to check something, and I really needed to check it. Anyway, uh, he's not getting a sword, just so you know. Only sword he's gonna get is the sword that he's gonna be using throughout with the electrical quirk I gave him. So that's pretty much all he's gonna get. Besides that, so yeah, we go on to it. So all she does is make him train him there, basically hand to hand combat, sword fighting, and yeah, that's pretty much it. To be honest, sword fighting, hand to hand combat. That's it. And and now with this, training is over, and I'm pretty sure we all know that the time in Waco Mundo is different from the time in how would you put it in on Earth. So I feel like 2 weeks on Earth is like what 3 years or something. Nah, then Ichigo and the rest of them would have aged dramatically. Maybe like a day. It's probably like 2 days in there. 2 weeks is probably like 2 weeks is probably like a month. Pretty much. 2 weeks is probably like a month in Waco Mundo. Who knows? I don't know the exact time difference in Waco Mundo than on Earth. If it's the same thing, sorry if I got it wrong. It's been a minute. So yeah. So let's say in Waco Mundo time is like a month. The 2 weeks is like a month there. So like they train for a month, technically, or the 2 weeks. Same thing. They train. Obviously, he trains in his Vastolore form. He trains on spiritual control, Ryatsu control, and stuff like that. I'm just making shit up because like there's not much. All they need is Ryatsu, Kendo, uh, barely any Aikido because all they have is Seto, Bala, Grand Rei Seto, and their techniques. Pretty much the techniques that they all have individually. I'm pretty sure only technique the Vasto later form has is like Seto and obviously Grand Rei Seto, Bala, of course. I don't know any other technique besides those that they use in Sonito. So that's pretty much it. Just control over your Ryatsu, your spiritual pressure, and stuff like that. Obviously, he learns how to use spiritual pressure. So, yeah, because I'm gonna make a bunch of people dicks in this one. Sorry for my language. Um, but yeah. Anyways, um, with that in mind, yeah. So the 2 weeks or technically a month has passed. You know, like I said before, those 2 weeks pass anyway. Once those 2 weeks pass, we go on to the sports festival. Obviously, Deku comes back on a Sunday, maybe like 5 o'clock, whatever. Gets ready, goes to bed, says hi to his mother as usual, and yeah, we go on to the sports festival. So as we start, they're obviously in the waiting room, waiting to be called out, and after this, and Todoroki approaches Deku, or sorry, Izuku, approaches Izuku and says, well, Izuku, hey, Midoriya. Izuku obviously saying, what is it, Todoroki? From standpoint, you're obviously stronger than me, but I'll prove to everyone here that I'll beat you, and that your power is nothing but pure luck. And Izuku looks at him like, okay. kind of like not giving a crap, knowing that he's way stronger than him. So like he doesn't really care. It's just funny like thinking about this. If you really pay attention to it, that much training and Todoroki's still only human. Whatever. um. So yeah. Um. So we go on. Everybody says like originally, same thing they said originally. I believe it was Momo or Uroka saying that there's no need to start a fight. It doesn't matter, and you don't have to take it all that seriously. Obviously, Todoroki doesn't take light to this, but doesn't say anything, seeing that she's a girl, so he doesn't really want to get feisty with a girl. You know what I mean? But you guys, whatever. And Bakugo's like, "You're ignoring me, icy hot. I'm not the only one you have to. He's not the only one you have to beat, but you're not beating me." Anyways, so we go on. They call up in class 1A. They go outside, and obviously everybody starts cheering. And they call the classes class 1B, 1C, 1D, and everybody else, the intermediates, everything, the business classes, and everything like that. So, yeah. Now, obviously, Midnight calls up Zuko, to give his speech, and Zuko goes up there. This is what Izuku says. Well, glad to be here, everybody. Hopefully, we can all give you a good show. Hopefully, we can go to places that we all want to go. And try your best out there and give it your all. And just like Alma will always say it, go plus ultra. And hopefully everybody here is entertaining enough for everybody here. And I'm saying this to everyone. Do not remove your eyes from the stadium because this will be the most interesting sports festival you guys have all seen. And thank you. Goes off, goes down. Everybody's cheering for him, saying, "Yeah, go, who go, Zuko, whatever." And yeah. Once this happens, obviously we go off to the obstacle course. So yeah, so we're about to start in the obstacle course, obviously, and everybody's waiting. So 3, 2, 1, and what is that guy's name? Holy crap! I'm forgetting all these heroes' name. Uh, President Mike. Yeah, President Mike says, "Go!" Once he says "go," sorry for the delay. Sorry for that delay. President Mike yells, "Go!" And everybody starts rushing off. Obviously, same thing happens. Everybody keeps pushing each other. There's literally no space. So Deku does this. Damn it, I said Deku. Izuku does this. Just pushes everybody back, floats up, and dashes right out of there using Sonito or Flashed Up, however you want to put it. And obviously, same thing happens with Todoroki and them. Todoroki, Momo, uh, Bakugo, everybody that has the ability to at least get away from Todoroki's ice. What I'm confused about is why Momo didn't study on motorcycles or a car or something and create a motorcycle, which I'm confused about. She has a creation quirk. She says if she understands the components, she'll be able to make it. I'm confused about why she didn't make a motorcycle, but whatever. Anyway, off topic. It still doesn't make any sense to me if she can create anything, any inorganic substance. It doesn't make sense to me. Whatever. Like a liquid is an inorganic substance. You guys know what I mean. I'm pretty sure everybody thought about that at some point. Anyway, we go on. Everybody does the same thing in canon, besides that Izuku. So Izuku's pass dashes by, and Todoroki and Bakugo are obviously not taking a liking to this, so they try to rush Deku. Obviously not working because he's tremendously faster than everybody else. So before Izuku can truly use the full extent of his Sonito or Flash Step, Solito, whatever I called it. Yeah, Solito, whatever. Um, Zero Pointer comes up and tries to get in his way. Izuku just says, doesn't even have to say it anymore, like I said before, because he was tremendously nerfed. And, yeah, I mean, technically he was already nerfed in the beginning, but still. Anyway, damn, I need water. I'm thirsty as fuck. My throat is dry. Anyway, um, so Zero Pointer obviously having no chance. Izuku just throws a massive Zero. Small little Zero doesn't need to be that big, but he uses a big enough Zero to wipe that Zero Pointer off the the sports festival map. And President Mike just says, "Wow, did you see that, everyone? Zuko not only destroyed the Zero Pointer, but he erased it off the map. Nice. Now that's what I call a true beginning." This is me just try to impression of President Mike and how he would say this. I'm not good at that. I'm not good of I'm not good of predicting what he would say technically because that character officially is unpredictable. But off topic. But I'm off topic. Anyway, of course, realizing that this is gonna be an obstacle, realizing that if he slows down even a little bit, he's gonna be met with annoying people like Bakugo and Todoroki. So he just uses the full extent of Solito or whatever you want to call it, and just dashes to the finish line. Obviously, everybody in the same place as usual. Please don't tell me they're here. Oh crap. Anyway, same places as usual, and we'll go on to the cavalry battle. So we're on to the cavalry battle, and same teams. I would really like to change the teams, but if I do that, it's gonna be confusing if I do. So I'm gonna keep the teams the same, and yeah. Mm, excuse me if you heard that. Mm-mm. Um, so the teams are the same, and with um Izuku's lower body strength, he's able to pick up everybody on the floor and does so. Hopefully you heard that. Wait, I think my microphone should be on, so yeah. So hopefully the audio doesn't cut off right there. So yeah, he's strong enough to pick everybody up, just in case. Just in case one of the uh those jet things on Uraraka and May's feet don't break. So that's only a precaution just in case, but he does it anyway just to make sure. And since he has good lower and upper body strength, he's able to pick everybody up without any issue. And obviously, Bakugo and Todoroki try to get up there. Not gonna work. So once they not gonna work because He's pretty fast and pretty strong. So they go set back down so he can give himself a small little break and so he can go back up. And everybody rushes him. Every cavalry team rushes him, and obviously there's a problem there because he has to help everybody and manage to avoid being getting caught and his headband taken away and stuff like that. So they run around a little bit as this happens. Uh, obviously Todoroki does the same thing in Canyon, kind of cornering, but the team kind of cornering Izuku's team a little bit. Then Izuku's like, then Izuku just uses does the same thing I said before with just flying up, going up, and Todoroki's just like, damn, I forgot he can do that. And so the conflict goes a bit different. Everything else goes a bit different. So Bakugo's team targets Todoroki's team, and this is a pretty heated battle since Bakugo can kind of like just jump off and still keep going. So Bakugo jumps off, tries to kick Todoroki. Todoroki sends ice shard just pushes Bakugo with ice. Bakugo dodges, manages to dodge, and goes back to his team. So it's kind of like a cavalry standoff. And Momo tries to create Momo. Todoroki says, pass me a metal. I think it was a stick. He said, pass me one of those metal batons, and they go on to it. So they keep fighting and fighting. So Bakugo sending a bunch of explosions, like, high amounts of high explosions, and Todoroki sending major ice walls, major ice spikes and pillars and stuff like that. Pretty heated battle, not too heated. So at the end, everybody keeps the same because Bakugo and Todoroki's cavalry team have been fighting throughout have been fighting to get each other's headbands throughout most of the time, and obviously Deku's team wins. Everybody is in the same spots as usual except for about Deku's team. So obviously the Izuku's team has the 10 million points. Everybody else has the same amount of points they had originally, and yeah. We go on to the one-on-one fights. Now, the one-on-one fights obviously are going to be a bit of a pity because I feel really bad for Shinso right now. As much as he was a prick, as much of a prick he was, I don't really see him much of a prick. It was just a bit. He just thought that one day was just flaunting their status or something. Anyway, uh, I believe, yeah, Yujiro warns the Zuko obviously from the original. And Shinso's like Shinsho says the same thing. It must be nice to have a flashy quirk like that. And Zuko says, "Well, it doesn't matter what type of quirk you have. It's not you. It's not the quirk that makes you. It's you that makes the quirk." And obviously, he doesn't care. Obviously forgetting the fact that Shinso's quirk allows him to control people. That's obviously not working because uh, warriors like him or fighters like Izuku and Ichigo and stuff like that, Goku obviously, everybody in Shonen Jump that can fly, cause major damage, destroy planets, destroy dimensions and stuff like that. Obviously, they already have a mental block. So he obviously this is not gonna work on Izuku due to the mental fortitude he has. And hollows have a very chaotic mindset in a way. So their physiology is totally different from that of human. Well, not entirely, but for mental fortitude, totally different. So obviously it does not work on Izuku, and Izuku just blitzed Shinso, and Shinso's like, "What? It didn't work?" And Shinso, I keep saying his name wrong. Shinso tries to get out the way. Obviously, this is not working. And just imagine this. I'm sorry to doing this to Shinso, man. This is not fair. So just imagine this: Izuku reeling back his arm next to the left side of his waist. Shinso trying to block, and like imagine this in slow motion. Izuku throwing a massive gut punch to Shinso, and I'm pretty sure we all know this scene where the strongest character literally just throws a massive gut punch. And the opponent just pukes out blood or spit or saliva, whatever. Now, in this form, I would say blood due to the overwhelming amount of strength, but he's holding back quite a lot. This is enough to at least maybe like knock him out for a good minute, maybe like a day or two, whatever. Still knocks him out. Obviously, the paramedics come. Well, not paramedics. The nurses are. Damn. Why am I forgetting these damn character names? Ah, but I can't remember Ochaku, Araka, Momo, everybody in UA, and a bit from 1B. What is wrong with me, bro? Anyway, uh, Recovery Girl, right? Recovery Girl comes with the people that help her. They pick Shinso up, and they send him to Recovery Girl, and everybody's cheering on, seeing um that fight. Everybody and most of the heroes are like, "Wow, he dealt with that in one blow." And I bet that other kid's quirk wasn't even that good, to be honest. Probably why he lost. And Izuku, hearing this, kind of gets ticked off, and he's like, and he just says this out loud. No, his quirk is actually pretty useful in a way. And everybody in the stand is like, huh? Just like looks down, like, what is he talking about? And to everybody that's doubting Shinso, his quirk is actually pretty good and pretty useful. Some people might see it as a villain quirk. I see it as a means to stop the villains and put them in prison. His quirk allows, well, hopefully nobody's watching this. Crap. Might have to cut it off. Yeah.